All right, well, they look like real cigarettes. The tip glows, and something like smoke is even released. But a new fad called e-cigarettes is now getting attention from the FDA, despite the claim from the makers that these are safe.
Yeah, Dr. Mark Siegel, Fox News medical contributor, joins us now to tell us.
Siegel. Thanks for being here.
Good morning to you, doctor. So are these things safe? What can we expect? And does it really help us try to quit smoking?
Well, you know, it has some possibilities because actually a lot of smoking is related to an oral fixation. And we do have nicotine inhalers on the market already, but you know what? They're prescription only. And my concern about this thing is it's not restricted right now. And the reason the FDA has to take a close look at this is because I think it's a drug. It's got a lot of nicotine in it. You know, kids can get at it right now. I'm very concerned about the safety of kids. They could swallow these units that have the nicotine in them.
But explain to us how this even works. Do you light it, or it's just a cigarette that glows red?
You do not light it. It is battery operated, and the battery warms the nicotine, and it releases a certain amount of it with each puff you take.
How do you then get the smoke-like quality?
It's vapor. It's actually not smoke. It's vapor of the warmed nicotine. Now, actually, I'm told that it tastes quite good, and it actually tastes like an actual cigarette, and it feels like an actual cigarette. So it may have some potential for helping you quit smoking, but it is not regulated.
Okay, so what the company says, we asked the company to come on.
They were afraid to come on.
They were afraid to come on, but here's one of the statements by the company. They say, our product is comparable to that of a nicotine patch, except that people still get that oral fixation, which they love. So you're saying, is there a way then that the company's saying, look, with a nicotine patch, you don't quite get that oral fixation. People are they're used to that, and they still need that.
Well, here's what I say to the company. If you really believe that, let's put some trials out. All those other nicotine products, and we've discussed them on the air here, they've been well studied. Some are prescription only. The patch is not now prescription only, but this thing has not been studied for safety. And you know what? It may work too well. You may not be able to get off it. And nicotine can have long-term impact on lung cancer. There's studies that have shown that it actually helps accelerating lung cancer. The company says, oh, no, nicotine has nothing to do with lung cancer. That's not really been disproven.
I mean, we wish the company would come on to obviously debate this. What they say is that you're not inhaling with this e-cigarette the harmful chemicals or the tar in cigarettes.
You know, they're right about that, and that's why, again, I'll play both sides of this argument. I think that there's potential here, but it's got to be something the FDA looks into and studies. The tar is 90% of the problem, and the other carcinogens in cigarette smoke. They're right. If we could really use this product to transition off of cigarettes, it would be great, but not sold by some street vendor where kids can get access to it. That's what I'm worried about.
All right, so here's some of the traditional versus the electronic as we put up on the screen here. You know, we know that they're fire-operated, the regular cigarettes, battery-operated. I guess the bottom line here is that the FDA, I mean, right? Doesn't it come down?
Well, there's other countries where it's banned. Australia, it's banned. Hong Kong, it's banned. You know, they're looking at it very closely in Britain. We need to look at it very closely here. I think there's a future for this product, not sold over the counter, not where anybody can get it. And again, you know, there's another problem here. It may actually get young people to start smoking. I mean, how you could start with one of these things. And
right, because I'm sort of thinking like, hey, maybe it's healthy. That's sort of appealing.
Well, that's what they're trying to say. And I don't think it's healthy because I don't think nicotine's healthy. It's a transition product.
Last question. For people who are desperately trying to quit smoking out there, what do you recommend to them today?
Well, here's what I would say, Ali. I would say that it totally depends on the person. Some work well with Chantix. Cold turkey works best. Some need the nicotine products. Others use Zyban, which is an antidepressant. So it really depends. When I prescribe, I look to see who it is and how they react. By the way, I want to say one last thing. You're definitely a better singer than he is a dancer.
That is quite a testament.
We're out of time, Doctor.
Lack of talent.
Unfortunately.